Hi there, I'm Feldrin and welcome to a new Let's Play, this time of Call of Juarez Gunslinger. It's a neat little game, rather short, but very enjoyable. Alright, I've already finished this once before, but I think that was on normal difficulty, so let's try hard this time.
Don't I know you, sir?
Don't believe so. I haven't been here in many years. Name's Silas Greaves.
Silas Greaves? The bounty hunter?
Used to be.
What are you doing here in Abilene?
Just passing through. Got a little business to take care of.
Well, sir, it would be an honor if you would allow me to buy you a beer.
Hell, son, it would be my honor to drink it.
I'm Molly. Howdy.
I'm Dwight. That's Jack and Steve. Ben's behind the bar. Oh, I bet you got some great stories.
A couple.
Any of them true?
Jack, be nice.
A few.
What about your shootout with Henry Plummer's gang in Bannock, Montana? Is that where you started as a bounty hunter? That's what it says in this here dime novel.
Don't believe everything you read in them dime novels, boy. First man I hunted was back when I was riding with Billy the Kid.
You knew Billy the Kid?
Damn right. That scrawny son of a bitch had no fear. Wouldn't back down for nobody.
I heard he collected the 10 stars off any crooked lawmen who crossed him.
It was a war, boy. The Lincoln County War. And Billy promised his regulators would take the life of every bastard who helped bushwhack John Tunstall.
Kid had a big chip on his shoulder and a hair-trigger temper. Made him dangerous as hell. It was about 30 years ago. Billy was hiding out in an abandoned farm near Stinking Springs. I threw in with the kid because the man I had sworn vengeance on was riding with Billy's enemies. But before I tell you why I want that sumbitch dead, let me tell you what happened that day. I was heading back to the hideout when suddenly I had this funny feeling.
Funny, ha-ha?
No, Steve. The other kind of funny.
The game is very heavy on narration, so I'm going to cut down on my chatter to a minimum and let you just enjoy what the game brings.
You heard Pat. We need to stay here and keep an eye on the road.
That's not fair. We're missing all the fun.
I knew those two morons would never let me through. I had no choice.
Shoot that son!
Alright, by shooting guys you gain experience, and experience is used to spend on skill points. We'll see about that later.
Was it Pat Garrett's posse?
Oh yeah. I heard the shots and I knew I had to move fast. Garrett and his army of deputies had surrounded the entire homestead. I decided to help Billy and the boys out a bit. So that's just what I did.
And this is one of the major mechanics. Basically, by killing guys, you fill up a concentration gauge, and then you spend it in a sort of bullet time fueled rage.
As the governor of New Mexico was paying for the kid's apprehension, Garrett was able to hire every gun hand in Lincoln County.
This range is a bit too far. Let me try and get some closer. Throughout the game we'll find these nuggets of truth hidden everywhere. I'll try and collect them all. I'll hand them to you in screenshots below the video or elsewhere. They're really worth reading through. And a level up, let's see. Right, so there are basically 3 trees: Gunslinger, Ranger and Trapper, and before we go and look at all of those, let's just put a point into Akimbo Gunslinger, because more guns is better guns. And I just want to keep the flow up. Alright.
Watch out! He's one of them! Ah, damn it, he's right behind us! Where the hell's Garrett? Never around when you need him!
Garrett's men were running around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off. Still, one of them reached the water tower.
And another mechanic. Basically, I kind of
Not a
dodged.
bad idea. It would be a turkey shoot from up there.
Usually it's pretty self-explanatory in which direction you gotta dodge those.
Luckily, these shooters Garrett hired weren't the sharpest tools in the shed. The right position is very important. Personally, I prefer to be on top.
Oh, you do you?
Indeed, darling. But where was I? Oh, yeah. A lot of them were saddle tramps or sod busters or drunken drifters looking to make a few bucks. Then, I heard a friendly voice yelling at me from the window. Back door! We'll cover you!
Try aiming, you idiots!
Truth be told, things weren't much better behind the house. I cut their numbers in half, but that just made the ones that were left twice as mad. They made up for their lack of skill with a seemingly endless supply of ammo. It was a bit of a slog, but I finally fought my way around the back of the house. And like that, I was inside, none the worse for wear. I passed Dirty Dave, and upstairs I found Billy and Charlie Baldry.
Alright, but before we continue, there's another one of those nuggets here, and I think that's... nope, that's not the last one, but the last one isn't far off.
Billy looked at me and said, "About time, amigo! Grab a gun and get to the window!"
Wait, so you were friends with Billy the Kid?
Yeah, sort of. Anyway, we were surrounded by dozens of deputized shooters who wanted to do us home.
The bullet time is very powerful when timed correctly. And usually I like to do it by first aiming and then beginning the bullet time. Otherwise you're going to spend most of the bullet time trying to get to your iron sights.
I'm telling you, Garrett's men were dropping like flies, but they just kept on coming. When Charlie got hit. "They're catching us in a crossfire," shouted Billy. "Get to the other side!"
Alright, let's spend that point on Eagle's Eye, which allows us to get a short amount of slowdown when we switch to iron sights. It's very useful.
Where'd he come from?
And some ammunition. Alright, where are they? Isn't it an... nope, that's not an explosive barrel, is it? Nope. More ammunition.
I don't know how many of those cocksuckers I personally put down, but it was pretty clear, even to Billy, that maybe discretion was the better part of valor.
What's that mean?
It means that it was time to cut and run. They got a Gatling, Billy shouted. Huh? Get the horses and bring them round back. I'll draw their attention. He directed that order at me, and I thought, why the hell do I have to do it? Many would have fled in my place. But I had that false sense of invincibility that many young men have, like Jack here.
What are you saying, old man?
Jack, he's just joshing with you.
Yeah, he better be.
Mr. Greaves, please continue.
Please, call me Silas, ma'am. Now, where was I?
You were heading for the barn.
Right. Making my way past the castle of fallen foes.
Sounds like Garrett hired a whole regiment of hired guns.
Yeah, and just when I thought I was done with them, more of these hapless bastards would pop up.
Akimbo isn't nearly as accurate as using a single gun, but hell if it ain't fun.
Finally, I had the stables within my reach. After the fight, maybe we could treat ourselves to some fried chicken.
Sometimes throughout the game there are these moments where you can get an extra soundbite, like with the tower or while shooting the chicken. I'll try to get them, but I'm gonna have to find them first, and this is the final nugget of truth of this mission.
And that's when I met Sheriff Pat Garrett.
I read that you went toe-to-toe with him, sir. That backstabbing bastard with that tacked-on tin star. You challenged him to a showdown.
You read that in a dime novel?
It said he showed no fear as he took your measure with eyes like a rattlesnake.
Alright, you're gonna keep your mouse on the enemy to build up focus, and your mouse is going to try its darndest not to stay on the enemy, which makes it a bit of a frustrating endeavor, but it's not that difficult. Later on, things are going to get a whole lot more difficult though.
And that you killed him in a fair fight.
Is that what that Penny Dreadful said? No, boy. That ain't what I meant when I said I met Pat Garrett. So let me start again. I finally reached those damn stables.
Narration isn't just a large part of the game, it's also used, well, in manners as we've just seen. It's very neat, and it comes up quite a lot of times.
I stepped inside, and last thing I heard was Garrett's voice. That's not Billy.
And go on, how did it end?
And, boy, that was just the beginning.